Day 4, this is the home run. It's not going to be an easy one. 57 kilometers from Zoutkloof to Veldrift. We expect a little bit of rain. We already had a strong downpour this morning. It's soaking wet around us, and we expect a strong northwester later today. And it's a case of today you have to rely on your own will, your own power, and the camaraderie of your fellow paddlers, as well as the backup teams coming from the South African Police divers. And it's just fastbait number 2 all the way to Veldrift.
With news of a strong cold front heading for the Cape, the paddlers were eager to get going on the final stage of the 62nd Berg, hoping to avoid the headwind that can turn the 57-kilometer final stage from Zoutkloof to Veldrift into a nightmare. The slower paddlers were off first in 2 batches, and then the elites at 8:15, with the weather still playing ball. By Kersefontein Bridge, 16 kilometers into the final stage, there were 9 boats together in a big vanguard bunch, with Jacques Theron the only notable absentee. By the time the race reached the famous sandy portage at Oordraplek with just 10 k's to go, the top 3 were away alone. Race leader Hank McGregor and Tom Lovemore and young Jeremy Maher locked in a thriller of a dice for second. At Veldrift, the enthusiastic crowd welcomed home the legendary race winner Hank McGregor as he powered home to claim a 13th title, and Maher prevailing to hang on to his stunning 2nd place over Lovemore. A goosebump moment in the history of this great race.
Hey, it always feels great to get to the finish of the Berg, and obviously to win it, it's always something special. It's win number 13 for me. I never thought I'd win so many, but fantastic day out. Everybody was well mannered on the water, a lot of good friends all paddling together, and the racing really started, I would say, just before Oordraplek. The pace went on, and the bunch split, and I pushed the hammer from Oordraplek and managed to break away on my own. And I sort of didn't want to get involved with the scrap for second and third. They're both good friends of mine, and I didn't want to be involved. And well done to everyone that's going to finish. And who knows? Maybe I'll be back next year. I always say I'm never coming back, but I always seem to find my way back to pole and obviously make it to Veldrift. So yeah, happy to be here and happy with the win.
In the women's race, the tenacious Christy Shrimpton continued her tour de force as she wrapped up her victory by more than half an hour ahead of Bianca Bevitt. As the slower paddlers came into the final turn at Veldrift with the Carinus Bridge in the background, perhaps the day's biggest cheer was for Jannie Malherbe, who finished his 50th Berg. Only the 2nd after the late Giel van Deven to achieve this, Oom Jannie was part of the first ever Berg in 1962 and won the race 3 times. A ware legende.
Okay, sorry, I mentioned slow batch, but I believe I must say early batch.
Some of them are jubilant, some of them are like very exhausted, some of them are kaput. And it's a relief. It's a relief to be home. You must bear in mind, it's not the days of the time you spend on the river. It's also like the preparation, because your days start like at 4 in the morning. Most of them. You have to drive here in slippery conditions, and it's sometimes nerve-wracking. So a lot of these guys, you can hear, boys and girls, before they start, you can hear they're nervous. But once they're out in the water, they start to relax and then they gun it. Yeah, it's a sigh of relief when you see Veldrift.
It's the challenge. It's the challenge. You know you're going to do it. There's people that sit here and they complain that they're getting older and life is hard and all like they're working too hard. And what for us, it's you get out here and this race is the same. It's as hard as it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It doesn't get it. There's no magic bike that you can buy that just is amazing. Like you can buy a new boat, but it's still hard. If the wind blows from in front, you're still gonna know it's gonna be a hard day, and you just can't get around it. But when you finish, it's as big an achievement as it was whenever it started.
Why are we doing this? But it's tough. But now, fortunately, the rain has subsided and it's downhill from here, so we're looking forward to Veldre.
How are you feeling?
I'm roots, man. Chip and a pack.
And the next one?
I think it's a case of when you get that medal, because you must bear in mind this year you get a Berg medal and you might get the SA Champ medal. So they cherish it. It's a collector's item, and you know what? There's only a few of them in South Africa. So it's not like you can buy it and take a lot on the open market.